Sagittarius, the universe is kind of up the ante from last week a bit. And things are becoming even more challenging. So we're going to get into it. I'll go over the astrology with you and the tarot. Of course, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. I always create an extended reading, and I will attach the links to that reading in the description box below. And I will pin the links to the top of the comment section. You can also join the Unbound membership. The Unbound membership to this channel gets you access unlimited to every extended reading that I create, as well as all the other channel perks. So check that out. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you'll get notified when I upload your favorite content. Sagittarius content comes out every single Tuesday at 8 a.m. That's Pacific time over here on the West Coast. And if you want to join me, I go live for a live daily chat on my second YouTube channel, Astrology Motivation. I will attach the link above, and you guys can join me there. And we'll just have a good time in the live chat. And hopefully I'll see you there. So what is it about the astrology that concerns me this week? Well, there's the opposition to Mercury, which can almost make you almost like talk too much, say too many things, overpromise, especially if now there's a simultaneously not a great position. Jupiter is now semi-square to Saturn and semi-square to Uranus, and those are both those are both energies that are already they're square to each other, so they're already in contention with each other. And the fact that Jupiter is now like halfway between the two, it's almost like there's so much, it's almost like who can pull Jupiter toward them faster, who can get more luck and get more fortune, who can somehow promise more or say more or talk bigger or speak bigger. Don't get sucked into that, because you could be tempted, especially with great changes or desire for great changes in your life, and tension with Saturn kind of restricting you and making you feel like, oh, this is never going to happen, or people aren't listening to what I said, or I'm not allowed to say what I want to say, or whatever. You can be sucked into the trap of over promising too much to get a change, to get a desired outcome, and you're not going to want to rush things. Not this week, not for the next couple of weeks, not for a while, because we're headed into like inner planet retrograde. We have Mercury in retrograde this week, and you're in and Jupiter's in direct opposition to that, which means we're gonna slow things down, and you gotta check. You gotta double check what people are promising you, people are saying to you. It may not even be lies. It just might be overly optimistic and just making promises to get attention. Promises that people can't keep. This is definitely a time where you will be tempted yourself to overpromise yourself, or say you can do things that you never intend to do, or that you can't do, right? You'll never be able to get it all done. So watch that energy. It's tricky energy, because I do think it comes from a place of optimism and from a desire to grow and expand. But then what are the realities and what are the capabilities? You still have to work within what you have. You have to work with what you have. Yes, I believe in manifestation, and I believe in what you have is already yours. But it's almost like, don't spend so much on credit. I mean, you at this point, you could really like max out your credit card bills. And that's metaphoric. It's not necessarily financial, depending on what house all of this is happening in your life. It's not necessarily financial, but it's definitely a sense like that, like over promising. Yes, I'll do for you. Yes, I'll do for you. Yes, I'll do for you. And this and this and this. And then all of a sudden it's like, you only have two hands, you only have two legs, and there's only 24 hours in a day. So watch that, especially when it comes to feeling like you're squeezed between two bosses or two immovable forces, Saturn and Uranus, and it's just like, no, you may feel like you have to impress somebody this week. Let me know how this energy is impacting you. I would love to know. And yeah, I do read the comments, even if I don't get to comment back. So please let me know. Tend to the small things. The devil is in the details. The sun is certainly in the details. It's in Virgo. Venus is going to be Venus is in Virgo. So there's a lot of energy coming now into what are the details, what are the small things, and that's what it is. Tend to the small things, because that's where you'll see, is this quality, is this promise quality. Also saying that there's a lot of little shit that's going to be coming at you, that you're going to not be able to ignore all these details, or all these little, like just all this stuff coming at you at once. It may, one by one, it may be small, but all together it feels like, remember, a sandstorm. What is sand? Sands are like these little tiny things that, like, by itself, it's nothing. But all together, it's dangerous. And that's kind of what this is. It could become a sandstorm. So you're going to have to figure out how to deal with either things one at a time, which is not your style. You like that big, general, broad, overlooking, but especially if you're reading things right now in opposition to Mercury, you have to read them over twice. You have to read them over 3 times. Get a lawyer to help you out. Get some sort of second opinion, because you like the overarching moral of the story. That's what Sagittarius is usually focused on. But this is about with the details. Like, what word was next to that word, because there's some sort of code going on here. It's like that. And you got to have that kind of hawkeye and patience enough to focus your attention to see it. And then we have sweet results await. If you are able to do what is not natural to you and really see deeply into the details, be patient, be pedantic, go over things like a fine-tooth comb, then there could be a great deal of benefit for you. A wonderful outcome. Now, it's also in your work. So when it comes to whatever job you have, or career you've decided on, or business that you're building, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, you want to be very detailed in this. You don't want to get sloppy, because people are talking a lot now. And one little thing is going to get you 100 bad reviews. One little thing that could go wrong could get you 100 bad reviews, just because people are just flapping off at the mouth now because of Mercury opposite Jupiter. That's why. And everybody thinks they know everything, and everybody thinks that they're an expert, even though they're not. You know, it's kind of like that. So when it comes to you and in work, what you're doing, you do want to pay attention to the details. And how do you do that? You slow yourself the fuck down. You don't rush. Your time is you. It's your greatest gift. You have to not be rushed or forced into any situation, especially by authority figures that are crunching you and probably at contention with each other and are sticking you in the middle. Don't get in the middle of their war. Like, let their war be their war and let them contend with each other. You just do your job. And then we have Stag, take the lead. That's really beautiful energy. And what does that mean? It means that A, you're tuned in. You have to trust your instincts, trust what you are receiving, trust the messages that you're receiving, trust your instincts, trust your intuition. Absolutely. But also a sense of almost seeing a path that other people don't see, which could be quite lonely and quite isolating, which is also not your thing. But to see a path that others don't see, and to take that initiative. And how much of a challenge it's going to be, because you do have 2 leadership cards here. If you are given a position of leadership, which you very well could be this week, the devil is in the details. And people are almost gonna, like, as soon as you get it, as soon as you get that raise, that promotion, whatever, people are gonna, like, fine-tooth combing, everything is gonna be your responsibility. So it's really going to be important right now to be able to compartmentalize, schedule, and communicate clearly what the expectation should be for the day, the week, the month, the year. Very important. Very important. Sagittarius. Balance spirituality and practicality. Now, spirituality is what? Jupiter. It's all about religion, spirit. Like, what do I believe? What are my beliefs? What are my spiritual beliefs? Are you going to let your spiritual beliefs get in the way of your practical day? Are you going to let them dominate? Are you going to get overzealous about anything? Because that could get in the way. Talking too much about something that is, for that situation or that moment, irrelevant. You know? In other words, stay away from any soapboxes this week. Not only can your words be used against you, but your time will be wasted and it'll be easy to distract you. And then you'll have even more shit built up. And then we have adjustments are required. Adjustments are required. Hold your vision. First, okay, let's go back. I'm sorry, guys. Let's talk about balance, spirituality, and practicality. And that's the difficult part, because there is a certain level of zealous, like extreme. Your morality, your ethics, your spiritual beliefs, like almost distracting you and spilling over this week. And so ultimately there's just a sense, but what will work? You know, that's really the magic, is when you find the balancing point between, like I said in the beginning of the reading, right? What do I have? It's like I know what I want. I know what I desire. I know what I believe in. Okay, but I have to start where I am. You have to figure out how to start where you are. You can't overlook that step. That's not magic, that's cheating. And I don't think that that's what you're about. I just think that there could be too much of a sort of leap of faith that is, you're using faith to leap over the obvious instead of to embrace it and see how what's in front of you connects to what will be yours. You have to find that connection between the two. There's like an invisible string between where you are right now, what you have right now, and where you're going to be. And you have to really find that string and hold tight to it this week. Adjustments are required to your perception as well as to your, but especially to your execution. And then hold your vision. In no way, shape, or form is the universe saying, give up on your dream. You've been looking in the wrong direction. You have not. You have been looking in the absolute right direction. You are halfway there. But this is a trip-up point. This is a challenging point. Nobody said that the river is always going to be smooth. This is sort of like the bumps in the road, the rocky part. That's what's happening. But hold tight. Don't anticipate how you're going to get there. Just focus on where you're headed. Set your goals. Don't make plans. You are going to have to improvise. Because sometimes when we make plans, it's like it's distracting for us. And it gives us too much of a reason to be disappointed in ourselves. What is in front of you? And how does it take you to the next step? I've said it for a while. Step by step, small steps. This is the secret to success this week. Which is going to take a lot of meditation and a lot of self-restraint. We have disruption. Okay, and now I just want to know what that is. Sagittarius. Okay, so there's an obstacle in the road or a roadblock. Maybe even fragmentation. In other words, things seeming like they're going in a different... They're things as in, especially your mind. It's like it's going to be hard for you to focus this week. Right? And this is going to be your primary obstacle, is going a mile a minute and trying to do 5,000 different things and not being able to focus your mind on a task. And sometimes, Sagittarius, you just have to accept that this is where I am right now. That I have no ability to focus right now. Maybe I just have to feel things. And maybe I just have to let them out and be right here where I am. And I've got to deal with what I've got to deal with, because if I don't, I won't be able to move on to the next step. We have heartache and loss. So this is a distraction. There's something here. There's suffering. There's something unexpected that happened that you did not expect. and there's some sort of disruption. I don't know if this is bad news coming in or something that has already happened, but it's sitting on your heart and it's fragmenting your mind, and it is the foundation of a break. So somewhere that you wanted to get, let's put it this way, what it seems like is somewhere that you really believed in that you were going, the road has been blocked or the road doesn't exist anymore. And now you're like, almost like at a lot, like almost like at a spiritual loss. Like, well, where do I go now? Where are you now? Look around you and make the decision based on what you have in front of you and the decision that you can make. You can't be anywhere but where you are right now. It doesn't mean you're not going to get where you need to go. You are going to get there. It is already yours. So you don't have to rush to get to it. Deception and envy, and then new beginnings. I don't know what that is, but I want to find out. So let's dig in. Deception and envy. Deception and envy is going to turn your head away. If you're angry or frustrated with people in your life, or you're looking at what other people have, let me say this to you. That is going to hold you back and delay your new start and your new beginning. There's a distraction here, and really, that's just another way of being stuck in whatever you lost and whatever got taken away from you. Being envious or based on either being envious of what other people have, or feeling deceived and feeling angry and feeling jealous that other people didn't get the disruption that you got. All of those things are turning your face away. See, look, it's turning his face away from the new beginning that's in front of you. And I don't mean to belittle anything, any loss that you've suffered or any challenge. But this is a new time. This is a new period in your life. And your new beginning can start right now. Your whole life isn't going to change. It's taking that first step onto that new path. But the distraction of what everybody else has or what everybody else is doing is really going to fuck you up, and it's going to delay your path more than it is going to have any impact on anybody else at all. And I think in a lot of ways, if you just did kind of get sideswiped, there is a sense of being jealous and envious of your old life. Almost being stuck in the mindset, but this is the way things were supposed to be, and not wanting to let it go. Because the truth is this, if it was meant to be, it would have been. And that sucks sometimes. I know. I don't mean to be heartless, especially since I can promise you, there's this beautiful, refreshing pathway that God is asking you to open yourself up to. This is a new start. In fact, okay, I just heard this. Somebody else, their jealousy, their envy, their spitefulness because they don't want to lose, because they're angry that they didn't achieve something, that could be what puts you out the door and says, fuck it, I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. It's like, that is the boot on the foot of God that finally kicks your ass out the door. I can't deal with this petty shit anymore. I can't handle it. I don't have to. And you don't have to. It's almost like in some ways, maybe what you've been through in your life is making you realize how strong you are. And especially how deserving you are. And you certainly don't belong in this petty crap of just pettiness. It's just pettiness. Somebody else's unhappiness, right? Making you stuck. I think you're ready to move on now. In the most surprising way. In the most surprising way, you will be ready to move on from where you are, because you're starting to realize something has changed you. Something has opened your eyes, and you're starting to realize just what petty bullshit that maybe you used to allow around you. You're starting to hear the lies in other people's bullshit. You're starting to hear how other people are over promising you things. You're like, oh my God, did I ever do that to people? I don't want to be that or around people like that anymore. And so this is you, actually, all of this craziness and chaos leading you to say, I'm out of here. Peace out. It's not abandonment, it's moving on. This is all a sign. I'm telling you right now, Sagittarius, this is a sign that you're just not meant to be doing this anymore. You're not meant to be in that place anymore. You're not meant to be around these people anymore. You're not meant to be with this person anymore. You're not meant to be in this job anymore. You're not meant to. You're not meant to. It's not you giving up. It's you moving on so that you can focus on where you're really meant to go, which we'll discuss in the extended. I will see you guys there. The links are below.